Hello, and welcome to Protecting Your VMware Virtual Machines Across Hybrid Cloud with HPE Backup and Recovery Service. My name is Scott Becker. I'm from Actual Tech Media, and I'm excited to be your moderator for this special event, which is sponsored by Hewlett-Packard Enterprise and produced by Actual Tech Media. And before we get to today's great content, we do have a few housekeeping items that will help you get the most out of this session. First off, we want this to be an informative event for you, so we encourage any questions in the questions box in our webinar control panel. Not only will we have team members responding to questions during the live event, but we'll also have a dedicated Q&A session at the end of the presentation where we'll discuss in greater detail some of the top questions that you ask. That Q&A panel is also the place to let us know about any technical issues that you might be experiencing. A browser refresh will fix most issues, but if it doesn't work, just let us know in the Q&A and we'll provide further technical assistance. Second, in the handout section of your webinar control panel, you'll find that we're offering several resources. There's a demo link, a link to try the HPE service for free, a PDF of an IDC Spotlight report, and a PDF of an ESG impact validation report. Bunch of great resources there. I encourage you to access those now and share them with your friends and colleagues. Third, at the end of this webinar event, we will be awarding a $300 Amazon gift card to one lucky attendee on the live event. Of course, you must be in attendance during the live event to qualify for the prize. Official terms and conditions of today's prize drawing can be found in your handout section. Just scroll to the bottom and you'll find the prize terms and conditions link there. Finally, one of the best benefits of this event is the opportunity to ask a question of our expert presenters. So to help encourage your questions, we have a special additional prize. That's another Amazon gift card, this one for $50 for the best question. At the end of the event, we'll look at all the questions, pick out the very best one, and contact that prize winner. And with that, let's get to today's fantastic content. It's my pleasure to introduce you to our presenter for today, Ashwin Shetty, a product marketing manager at HPE. And now I'm going to turn it over to Ashwin.
Thanks, Scott. My name is Ashwin Shetty, and I work in HPE as a product marketing manager for data protection. I'll spend the next 20 to 25 minutes talking on how HPE's new backup and recovery service will help customers protect their VMware virtual machines in a simple, efficient, and secure approach across hybrid cloud. As the value and business criticality of data increases, the challenge of backup, recovery, and management of data are tougher than ever. What's more, there is exploding data growth, demanding recovery service level requirements, and an evolving threat and compliance landscape, all continuing to put pressure on cost and intensifying risk. At the same time, as customers transform their IT infrastructure to take advantage of the hybrid cloud, protecting and managing apps and data across the data center, private cloud, and public cloud infrastructure can prove increasingly complex. Most of the customers have been asking for automation to simplify their backup and recovery operations, ease of management with probably a single management console rather than having separate management tools across hybrid clouds, cost efficiency while protecting their data, and having a consistent global protection policy across hybrid clouds. Finally, protecting data from ransomware attacks while complying with data protection regulations. These are some market statistics that highlight the importance of data protection. According to a recent ESG research study of IT decision makers, over 50% of organizations view enhancing data security and protection as their number one priority. IDC's customer survey shows that 40% of organizations expect their data to grow more than 50% every year. And in the last 3 years alone, 50% of organizations have suffered an unrecoverable data loss. Cyber attacks have surged more than ever during the last couple of years, with ransomware protection rated as one of the most challenging areas of data protection. And about 91% of industrial organizations are vulnerable to ransomware threats. Now, what's wrong with hybrid cloud data protection today? Traditional backup approaches are not designed for today's dynamic and distributed business environments. They are time-consuming and costly to manage. They cannot scale to meet progressive, challenging needs. They require upfront CapEx, expensive software licensing, and costly over-provisioning. And finally, yesterday's approaches fall short when it comes to neutralizing modern threats such as ransomware and other sophisticated malware attacks. Legacy backup approaches do become complex over time. On an average, we have found that customers use several separate backup tools to manage their backup and recovery operations in the hybrid cloud. This massively fragmented approach slows down the overall innovation because it requires configuring, initializing, managing separate operating system, and establishing best practices for each of them. Over the years, we have seen organizations have more often than not cobbled together data protection infrastructure, adding features and point solutions as new needs and demands arise. When you are relying on older backup technology, you do not have the tools to face modern threats. Rigid siloed infrastructure aren't agile or scalable enough to keep up with fluctuating data protection requirements, and they are based on equally rigid backup approaches. Current hybrid data protection solutions are expensive, they're difficult to scale, they're complex solutions often requiring multiple solutions and multiple vendors. They are operationally inefficient, requiring multiple points of administrations. And the cloud solution is nothing but a combination of legacy on-premises data protection components virtualized on cloud resources. There are no meaningful index and global search or visibility. If you are responsible for data protection, the challenges you have to address are not new. However, the protection requirements are evolving into harder challenges as malware is becoming increasingly aggressive and sophisticated as the volume of data is rising, and data management and protection regulations are getting stricter by the day. These pressures on data protection processes mean only software as a service or SaaS can deliver the flexibility and scalability to address these with appropriate cost. Vendors are seeking to address these issues, and legacy vendors are re-architecting solutions to compete with newer vendors with pure backup as a service offering. The move to backup as a service provides multiple advantages. Simplicity by running the control plane in the cloud, enabling global policy administration and centralization of metadata that is foundational for other data management services. Backup as a service storage enables cost optimization with cloud storage economics for data for long-term data retention. Data location flexibility, which enables the most cost-effective on-prem or the cloud, given the recovery SLAs. Efficiency with a single point of administration. Global catalog and index, which increases the compliance with a consistent protection policy. Now let's look at HPE's backup and recovery service. This was initially introduced in September last year as a part of HP GreenLake for data protection. HP Backup and Recovery Services, backup as a service designed for the hybrid cloud. The service simplifies how your VMware virtual machines work across the hybrid cloud, bringing with it cloud experience and flexibility of software delivered as a service. Policy-based orchestration and automation lets you set up protection of your VMs in a few steps within minutes. And it also eliminates the need to initialize, configure, manage, or tune physical or virtual infrastructure. You can spin up storage capacity in minutes with just a few clicks. It protects your virtual machine workloads effortlessly, provides protection against ransomware attacks in a cost-efficient approach across the hybrid cloud. Now, let's look at how the service simplifies your backup and recovery operations. To start with, it's easy to deploy setup policies through a single management console, and the service gets automatic timely upgrades without causing any disruption or downtime. This cloud-native service eliminates complexity, freeing customers from the day-to-day hassles of managing their backup infrastructure. Number one, it's simple to deploy. It's quick to deploy. It doesn't take days or weeks of infrastructure and software setup, and there are no professional services needed to deploy this service. It's easy to set up policies with automated protection to deliver the right kind of protection that your organization requires. The unified management from a single console allows users to manage protection of multiple locations from wherever you are. Automatic upgrades means you no longer need to plan for upgrades at weekend or other quiet times. This service takes care of all the software upgrades and integration with the backup storage. HP Backup and Recovery Service separates the infrastructure control plane from the underlying hardware and moves it to the cloud. This enables customers to globally monitor and manage their hybrid backup and recovery operation from a single cloud console, accessible from any location from any device. A single operational control plane unifies the management silos with a consistent cloud experience that helps eliminate the inefficiencies of using disjoint domain-specific data infrastructure management tools. The cloud-native control plane scales autonomously with the customer's infrastructure wherever it is in the world. So managing 100 systems across geographies is as simple as managing one. As the volumes of VMware data grows and continues to grow, protecting that data at scale will only become more challenging. Data protection in a VMware environment involves protecting large collections of virtual machines. Most of the time, these large collections of virtual machines need similar protection SLAs. It is a tedious job for an administrator to apply protection and monitor jobs for virtual machines individually. The backup and recovery service makes it easy to protect at scale by organizing virtual machines into protection groups. These protection groups enable users to apply protection for multiple virtual machines or data stored in a single operation to automate the protection of virtual machines. Policy-based orchestration and automation allows users to set up the protection of their virtual machines in a few simple steps within minutes. And again, this eliminates the need of having to initialize, configure, and manage or tune any physical or virtual infrastructure. HPE Backup and Recovery Service offers backup and recovery for VMware virtual machines that are deployed on HPE Electra, HPE Primera, and HPE Nimble storage. This high-performance backup is enabled by integration with these storage systems with the support for local snapshots. Last month, we extended the backup scope for the backup and recovery service to protect VMware virtual machines using storage from non-HPE platforms, such as Dell, IBM, NetApp, Pure, and other vendors. This also includes protecting virtual machines deployed on older HPE storage systems that are not integrated with DSCC or Data Services Cloud Console today. That includes MSA, HP 3-Bar, HP Apollo, EVA, and XP. This new capability is enabled by integration with VMware's Virtual Disk Development Kit to allow backup and recovery operations to use change block tracking, that is CBT, and other features available through VMware's APIs for data protection. For storage that's managed through DSCC portal like Electra, HP Primera, and HP Nimble, this service provides the flexibility to retain local snapshots for instant data restore, local on-premises backup for rapid recovery, and utilize cloud backups for cost-effective long-term data retention. For other storage arrays, users can retain local copies on-premises for rapid recovery and leverage the cloud backup for long-term cost-effective data retention. Now let's look at the efficiency part. This is a graphical representation of how customers benefit from HPE GreenLake for data protection. The purple line shows a representative usage pattern over time, sometimes up and sometimes down, based on how workloads uses the storage resources. The orange line shows the usual capital purchasing pattern. Most customers have a long process, 3 to 6 months or more from beginning to implementation to add new capacity. The risk of running out are too great, so over provisioning is common, usually 50% depending upon the technology. In the green areas, assets that were purchased to meet future capacity needs are sitting idle, tying up capital that could be used to benefit business. In the blue area, assets were not purchased early enough to meet the increase in capacity demand while waiting out for the procurement cycle. The business is unable to take advantage of new opportunity and begin new key initiatives. With HPE GreenLake, you get a buffer, the gray line above the purple line, that can be replenished as usage approaches capacity. The customer can consume more capacity than their minimal monthly capacity commitment due to the buffer capacity that we provide. Customers pay for their usage along the purple line monthly, avoiding the cost of over-provisioning, and can access additional capacity in their buffer in minutes and not months. This slide shows the value of delivered by HPE Backup and Recovery Service, enabling you to shift from owning and maintaining backup infrastructure to simply accessing and utilizing it. HPE Backup and Recovery Service empowers customers to shift from buying and maintaining their own backup infrastructure to simply accessing and utilizing it in a standard, simple, and agile way. This flexible consumption as a service model enables users to avoid over and under provisioning concerns, CapEx budget constraints, and complex procurement cycles. Customers can get the resources they need when on demand. They can scale on demand as required with buffer capacity for unexpected workloads or usage demands. And they can shift from heavy upfront cost to a transparent, predictable, consistent subscription with a monthly payment. This shortens the project deployment time, frees up capital and IT resources, aligns spending with business needs, and boosts financial flexibility and operational speed. Backup data typically can be up to 40 to 60% of total data storage, and therefore increasing storage efficiency delivers big benefits. HPE's internal testing has shown that the backup and recovery service to be up to 5 times more storage efficient than similar software and services for VMware protection. The technology that enables this is HPE Catalyst, which is a proven technology with tens and thousands of customers leveraging its benefits over the past 10 years. This is a key feature in the backup and recovery service. HPE Catalyst provides super efficient backup capacity utilization with source side deduplication, making the most use of network bandwidth. HPE Catalyst ensures that only new unique chunks of data are sent across the network to local, that is on-premises, and cloud protection stores, reducing the data writes, which in turn reduces the demands on bandwidth. This highly efficient source side deduplication and advanced compression delivers unmatched storage efficiency in the service as compared to alternate solutions. There are other deduplication technology available in the industry, but HPE Catalyst chunks backup data by using a smaller chunk size than other technologies, which is a key to achieving superior space saving. HPE Backup and Recovery Service uses 4 kilobyte dedupe chunk size. Other services or software uses 8 kilobytes to 1 megabytes of chunk size. Now let's look at the security features of the service. For virtually every company, the question is not if, but when a ransomware attack will occur. IT leaders urgently require a data protection solution to effectively counter this growing threat. HPE Backup and Recovery Service is efficient at protecting backup data from cyber attacks like ransomware because it keeps the data hidden from attackers. Ransomware cannot infect and encrypt what it cannot access. HPE Backup and Recovery Service takes advantage of this feature by creating backup stores which are not directly accessible by the operating system. Backup images are made inaccessible to ransomware, ensuring data backup security and enabling reliable data restores. Another key tool to protect backup data is backup data immutability. That's why we have this capability to the on-premises, that is the local protection store, and the cloud protection store, and also for snapshots where the storage system has the capability. Backup data immutability will prevent a backup being deleted or modified before the configured retention date. Once the retention or immutability date has been set, it cannot be reduced, and backup data is safe from attack or accidental deletion. Data immutability can be easily configured as a part of the protection policy definition. Finally, this service runs on a secure by design cloud platform. No organization data that has been written or backed up is exposed or accessible from Data Services Cloud Console or HPE GreenLake Cloud Console. User information is stored in HPE GreenLake Cloud Platform under the terms of HPE's Global Privacy Program to comply with all applicable laws and regulations. User access and management use MFA, multi-factor authentication, and SSO for authentication, and enhanced role-based access control using roles and scopes for authorization. Connection of on-prem devices to DSCC is always initiated by the on-prem device, and once authenticated, a secure tunnel is set up. Now, quickly recapping some of the benefits and value of this service. Number one, ease of management. It provides unified management edge to the cloud to easily manage your hybrid backup and recovery operations from anywhere through a single cloud native console. It protects your VM workloads within minutes without the hassles of managing your backup infrastructure. Number two, it's cost efficient. You pay as you consume. You eliminate upfront CapEx expenses with predictable consumption-based billing that aligns cost to business value. You also reduce your backup storage capacity and storage costs with efficient deduplication and compression technologies. It's secured by design with built-in encryption and backup data immutability. Users can protect their VMs from threats. And lastly, it delivers on SLAs. It meets all the customer RTO and RPO requirements with the flexibility to deliver snapshots for instant restore, rapid recovery on-prem, or cloud backups for long-term retention. HPE Backup and Recovery Service gives you the peace of mind that your data is rapidly recoverable, always secure, and provides value to your business without any compromise. We help you to protect your VMs effortlessly, neutralizing ransomware and malware threats in a cost-efficient approach across the hybrid cloud. Evaluate HPE Backup and Recovery Service for free. Now, you can also try the HPE Backup and Recovery Service with our 90-day free trial and experience the benefit for yourself. All features of this service with HPE support are available during the trial period, and after evaluation, you can easily purchase the subscription. And before I close, here is a short demo of how the service works.
Hello, and welcome to HPE Backup and Recovery Services for VMware. In this demo, we've already done all the setup, so we're going to dive right in. Let's start with the dashboard. The dashboard is where we're going to easily get a view of all the backups in our environment, from our virtual machines to data stores, to what's being protected, current protection jobs, and projections. Once we start getting all these backups done, we'll actually start to see some efficiency numbers in our environment. HPE Backup and Recovery Services makes it really easy to start backing up VMs. We templatize, group, and protect. Let's start with the template. The template builder makes it easy to decide how we're going to back up. We can either do snapshot, local backup, or cloud backup. Let's think about that 3-2-1 methodology and do all of them. So we're going to create the cloud backup, which includes snapshot and local as well. We'll name the template, and then we'll start with snapshot. Snapshots are great to back up. They're fast to back up, and they're fast to restore. So for my production VMs, I'm actually going to configure my snapshots to back up every 4 hours during my production hours. Now for my local backups. I'll use the local backup store that was created previously. This uses the Catalyst protocol, which has been updated, makes it super efficient for local backups and cloud backups too. We'll do daily local backups, and then let's configure the schedule for our cloud backups. Our cloud backups are our off-site backups. So these we actually want to do a couple schedules for them. We'll stick with the US East region to store them, and since we're going to get really good efficiency, we'll do a weekly and a monthly frequency. We just templatized. The next step is group. To do that, we build a protection group. A protection group is VMs that need similar protection. So I'm going to create a group for my production VMs to go along with my production template. We have the option to do an automatic or a custom protection group. Automatic is easy. Let me show you how. So we'll create an automatic group, and here we'll name it. We'll select the vVol container as the category, and then the vCenter server. Finally, we select the resources. Since it's a single vVol container, we just select that, submit, and we're done. Now we've grouped. Now who remembers the final step? That's right, protect. So it's easy. We select our protection group, click on actions, and protect. This is where we bridge our protection group with our protection template. We'll select the prod VMs one we just created, see if there's any advanced options we need to set, and then click submit. Now the schedule is set and we have automatic protection of that protection group. We also have the ability to protect individual VMs. Let's do that. If we go to our inventory in VMs, we can easily select a VM and then click protect. We're given a list of protection templates we can apply to that VM. We'll use the prod VMs one that's already been created and then just submit that. We can then repeat that process to protect another VM. Being able to protect and back up these VMs is great. But don't we do this so we can restore? Yes, so let me show you how. As we go into one of these VMs we just protected, we're presented with this timeline view. This view is awesome. I love it. It easily allows us to identify which method we've used to back up a VM, select that method, and then easily restore from one of those backups. As I mentioned, snapshot's the quickest restore. We identify the snapshot we want to restore, and we have the option to do the same VM or a new VM. If we simply wanted to just mount the VM and maybe copy deleted data over, we could do a new VM. We can just as easily do the same VM. We have to confirm it so we don't overwrite data we don't mean to, hit submit, and the VM is restored. And that's how easy it is. In a matter of minutes, we've been able to templatize, group, and protect VMs in our environment and restore them. That is HPE Backup and Recovery Services.
Thank you for joining us today. I hope this was good use of your time. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. And over to you, Scott.
Okay, great. Yeah, really nice presentation, Ashwin. Thanks for the updates there, and appreciate that demo as well. We do have some questions coming in here. The first one, is they're asking where the service is available. I know HPE is globally, a global company. Is this a global rollout, or is it sort of staged?
It is going to be. All right. That's a good question, Scott. So it's a global rollout, but then it would be done in phases. So if for customers to access the service, they'll have to log on to the DSCC portal, that's Data Services Cloud Console, or the HPE GreenLake Common Cloud portals to get the service.
Okay, super. Yeah, they're asking what kind of restore or recovery options does HPE Backup and Recovery Service provide?
So currently the restore options will be for the virtual machine data store, and you can restore it back to the source. You can restore it to an alternate location, or you can instantly restore via snapshots. The restore location would be on-premises infrastructure. That's a part of the hybrid cloud or the local protection store.
Okay. All right, super. This next one, does HPE Backup and Recovery Service allow you to build your own cloud storage, or will it be packaged into the service?
The answer is this: the cloud storage will be managed and accessed only through the service. So it's a part of the service. So you cannot build your own cloud storage.
Okay. Okay. This next one is about egress fees. They're wondering, are there any egress fees or charges for restoring data from the cloud?
We do not charge customers for data restore, egress, not for backup. And we do not charge anything for the search operations. So in short, there is no additional charge, both for egress, ingress, search operations, or management cost for the cloud storage. All of these are covered by the service.
Okay, all inclusive. That's great. Next question, does the customer have to manage any licenses with this service?
No, there are absolutely no licenses to manage. The payment is consumption based, and it's done monthly.
Okay, all right, super. Yeah, a lot of interest here in billing and licensing. This next one, what payment options are available for customers?
So customers have a couple of options. They have flexibilities to select either pay as you grow for ultimate flexibility, or reserve the service for a fixed term between 1 to 5 years and lock in at a lower price.
Okay, super. And how's the consumption-based billing done? How's that handled?
So it's based on two simple metrics. Number one, it's the number of protected virtual machines. And second is the capacity of cloud protection store use, that is post data reduction.
Gotcha. Great. Okay. Well, I think we're running up on time here, but this has been a great presentation and a good demo. Ashwin, as we wrap up here, any suggestions on how people can get started with the service?
So I think the link over here would lead people to the backup and recovery service page, where they can get access to the free 90-day trial, where they have to fill a simple registration form. And for more information, we do have HP Discover between June 28th and 30th, where we will be having mini focus sessions on this service, and also we would be having some exciting news coming up for Discover. So do register for Discover, which in June, and visit the link that is on the slide.
Okay, great. Yeah, and we have that link in the handouts as well. So be sure to check out that and all the other links in the handouts there. Ashwin, thank you so much for coming on today and bringing us up to speed on the HPE backup and recovery service.
Yeah, and Scott, if there are any follow-up questions, you can send it over to me, and I'll respond back over mail or after the presentation.
Sounds great. Yeah, we'll do that. And also, there is one other way to get some information from HPE. By filling out the poll here, we have a data sheet, technical white paper, and other options. If any of that interests you, just go ahead and fill out that poll, and I will leave that up while we do our last piece of business, which is the $300 Amazon gift card prize drawing for today. So the winner of the $300 Amazon gift card is Amber Sloan from Kentucky. Congratulations to Amber. We'll be in touch to get you your card. And with that, on behalf of the Actual Tech Media team, I want to thank Hewlett-Packard Enterprise for making this event possible. And thanks as always for attending and for your great questions. That concludes today's event. Have a great rest of your day.